Hi, welcome to CEM Preview. My name is Ann Lee, and I am the Academic Advisor for Construction Engineering and Management here at Virginia Tech. We're excited that you can join us today. I wish it could be in person, but I'm so glad that you are able to join us virtually, and so you can learn out more about the major. You can hear from current professors, current students, current alumni, from me as the advisor, as well as from our director of the school. And you'll get a chance to chat one-on-one with everyone on Saturday, April 25th from 10 a.m. to noon. What I would like to talk with you about today is our curriculum. So here you can see our check sheet. Our check sheet is basically all 4 years that you would be here at Virginia Tech and all of the requirements you would need to complete a degree in construction engineering and management. You'll notice that currently it says draft on it, and that's because it's in the process of being official. It has gone through all the proper channels. We're just waiting for the final stamped copy that says approved. So once we get that, we'll be uploading that to our website, but for now we just wanted to leave the draft on there. But everything that you see here is what the check sheet will look like for students entering the university under the undergraduate catalog of 2020 to 2021. So that would apply to all of you. So you need 130 credit hours to graduate with a degree in construction engineering and management at Virginia Tech. And you'll see as you go semester by semester, that averages out to be around 16 credit hours per semester. So most of the time, that's going to be 5 courses that you're taking during each semester. As you're probably aware, the first year are those general engineering courses. So you will take all the same courses with all engineering students, regardless of the option that you're planning to pursue. So you can see in that first year, you have a chemistry lecture and lab. You also have a 2-semester sequence of Foundations of Engineering. That's where you get a chance to start learning how to think like an engineer and do problem solving and teamwork. And you also get exposed to all the different options within the College of Engineering. You'll also have a 2-semester sequence of first-year writing, and you'll also have a 2-semester sequence of calculus of a single variable. You'll also notice it says pathways, and we'll come back to those in a minute. Those are the general education requirements that are required for all students at Virginia Tech. And then you'll also notice there's Intro to Linear Algebra, as well as the first physics course. You'll notice there's different colors throughout the check sheet. This kind of beige tan color that you see here, those are courses that are going to meet those pathways requirements. And again, we'll talk about those more in a few minutes. The green courses are the ones that we have stated are vital to the major. And so we'll kind of go through those as well. So in order to apply to your specific option within the College of Engineering, that first year, you have to complete the chemistry sequence. The courses that you see here, the engineering, first year writing, and calculus, as well as Foundations of Engineering here, first year writing, calculus, and physics. Those are the required courses to apply to your specific option, which you would do at the end of your first year. So at the end of that first year, if you have decided that construction engineering and management is the option that you would like to pursue, you would declare that at the end of your first year. If you have at least a 3.0 GPA at that point, you are guaranteed your top choice of your major. So you actually pick your top 3 options within the College of Engineering. If it's between a 2.0 and a 3.0, you will get into one of the engineering majors. We are actually trying to double in size within the next 5 years. So if you meet that minimum range and you've met all the required courses and you choose CEM as your top choice, there's a very good chance that you'll be accepted into the CEM program. However, we do recommend that you try and strive for as high a GPA as you can, especially as we hear from employers. They prefer students who have that 3.0 or higher. So starting in that sophomore year is when you really get into your major. And the construction engineering and management major is really divided into three main areas of courses. So the first area that I'm going to talk about are the civil engineering courses. So those are those CEE courses. So these courses are all focused on giving you a solid understanding of the structural design and the structural materials of buildings. So you'll see here you have the measurements course. That course is about surveying. We have the structural engineering course, civil materials. We also have geotechnology, geotechnical engineering, and that's where you're looking at the soil. Every construction project starts at the soil level, and so it's really important to know that you're building on a solid foundation and that your building will stand. You also have design of steel structures, and you have construction engineering means and methods. And during your senior year, you have reinforced concrete structures. Those are all the civil engineering courses that you'll take. You actually take them along with civil engineering majors as well as construction engineering and management majors. So it's kind of nice to get a mixture of majors and a mixture of perspectives as you're working through those courses. The next main area are the CEM courses. So those are the construction engineering and management courses that we've created, and they're really geared a little bit more towards the business side of the construction industry. So that very first course is the Intro to CEM, and that's really the gateway to all the other CEM courses and all of the building construction courses that you'll also take. So there you get to learn about the major and different career paths. You typically get to take tours and go on field trips of different construction sites, so you can see what it looks like and how they're making sure that their employees are safe. You'll also take the construction estimating and scheduling. So you'll learn the software systems, and you'll learn how to calculate how much it's going to cost for a project. So how much it costs for labor, how much it costs for materials, how much it's going to cost for all the equipment that you're going to need for all of those materials. And so figuring out a good estimate that you can present when you try to bid for proposals for jobs. And then also how you stay on track to make sure that you are lining up with your estimate and you're not going over budget. You'll also learn how to schedule projects. So how long it's going to take for a construction project from the design all the way to the completed project, and all of those steps in between, and how you can get all of that to coordinate. So figuring out how you do that, and again, tracking and making sure that you're staying on track with your schedule. You'll also take construction economy. In that course, you'll get to do a little bit of accounting and finance and work on a business plan. So you're understanding the business components that go into the construction industry. You also want to make sure that your employees are safe and that the construction site is safe. You're keeping everybody healthy through that process. And so in the construction health and safety, we incorporate that throughout all of your courses because we want that to be a main focus. But this course really goes deep in depth, and it helps you learn how you can keep your employees safe and healthy on the job site. You'll also learn about temporary structures in construction, and then you'll also do the construction law and contract administration course. There's also a 2-semester sequence of the CEM Capstone 1 and 2, and that is really your final experience in the major. It brings together everything that you've learned to do throughout the program, and it's your chance to work together as a team with your classmates to create a project. So you're typically given a real-world scenario. It's usually something that's already been completed, and the company that completed that project will actually work with you. So they can give you some of the specs, they can talk with you about what they did, but they really want you to kind of take it and run with it and make it your own. And so you actually create the design for the project. You actually work on how much it's going to cost and how long it's going to take. You're going to talk about how you're going to keep your employees safe and healthy throughout the process, and maybe incentives that you're going to use to help keep them motivated with that. And then you're also going to be looking at how you're impacting the environment. So you can look at LEED certifications as you're going through the process so that you're creating buildings that are going to be sustainable and are going to have a positive impact on the environment rather than a negative one. And that very final course then, that very final capstone, you actually get to present to a panel of industry representatives. So you're going to get real world questions that you would get if you were actually out there doing a bid proposal for a project. There's usually a small financial prize for that, for the top winner, and also those bragging rights that your team won. But it's really kind of a fun way for you to work together as a team and show what you did throughout the entire program. The final area that you really take courses in is building construction. And so building construction and construction engineering and management are both part of the Myers-Lawson School of Construction. Our major of construction engineering and management pulls from the College of Engineering and is an engineering degree. Building construction is actually through the College of Architecture and Urban Studies. So again, you're going to get to take courses with people who are learning from a different perspective, which is really, I think, a great illustration of real world scenarios, because when you're out there in the construction industry, you're going to be working with engineers, you're going to be working with architects, you're going to be working with all the people who are actually doing the manual labor, you're going to be working with owners and people who you're trying to send bid proposals to. So it really is good to start getting that experience with different disciplines while you're here in the program, because that's going to be very similar to what you experience when you're out in the real world. So building construction is going to give you a little bit more emphasis on how to do 3D modeling of buildings and how to use that software and all the technology that goes into the construction industry. You also take a building systems course, and that's where you're going to learn about the heating and cooling systems that go into buildings, how they work, where they're located, so that you can make good decisions as to what types of systems you would want to include in your building. And then you'll also notice that there is an integrated 2 and an integrated 3 that our students participate in. Building construction students also do an integrated 1 that construction engineering and management students do not. In the building construction integrated construction 2 course, that is where you actually act as a subcontractor for the building systems. And so you and your team are creating a bid proposal specifically for the building systems. And then you would present that to the general contractor, which is who you act as when you're in the integrated construction 3 course. So you get a chance to kind of experience both aspects of it. So that is kind of a quick overview of the major courses that you take throughout the program. We do also require a few business courses. So you'll notice that in your sophomore year, you take an economics course, Principles of Economics 1, which focuses on microeconomics. And then you also do Principles of Economics in your junior year, and that focuses on macroeconomics. So you're getting a solid understanding of how the economy works, supply and demand. And then you are also required to take 1 business elective. So that's where you get a little bit of choice to pick and choose what may interest you most in regards to the business side of the construction industry. You'll also notice that there is an engineering elective as well, and that's where you get a little bit of choice too. You'll notice that the major, because it's so full and because you're taking courses from 3 different areas, the major's really pretty much prescribed for you. There's not a lot of extra choice, but that is where you do get a little bit of selection. You'll also notice those pathway courses again, and we'll come back to those. A few other courses I just wanted to highlight that don't fall under those main areas. You do take statics and deforms, you take elements of geology, multivariable calculus, and then intro to differential equations, and that final physics course. So those are the other courses that kind of round out your curriculum. So as I mentioned, pathways are pathways to general education. At Virginia Tech, we want to make sure you have a well-rounded education experience. And so we have created pathways to make sure that students get to take courses in all these other areas outside of their major during their time. Now, interestingly enough, as an engineering major, a lot of the courses that you're doing for the program also overlap as pathways. So those courses are designated here. And again, when you go back to that first page, any of the courses in that beige color, those are those pathways courses. So you can see, for example, in the pathways one, that's discourse, so writing communication. That is met with your 2 first-year writing courses, as well as this advanced sequence of courses that you're already taking for your major, because we incorporate discourse throughout those 3 courses. So you can see most of your major, or most of your pathways courses are met by your major, but there are some areas where you have some choice. So that's where you see this Pathways 2 area. You see it requires 6 hours. It's critical thinking in the humanities. So you pick 2 courses of your choice that you're interested in, things that you want to explore that you won't get to otherwise. So this is a great opportunity to maybe explore some of those other areas you're really interested in, or things you liked in high school and want to continue, or maybe things you didn't get to experience in high school that you'd like to experience here. The other category where you have some choice is in the Pathways 6 area, and it's the arts course. So you can choose an arts course that interests you. This Pathways 7, you can actually take a Pathways 2 course that will also overlap with a Pathways 7, and that way you're getting double credit for a course. So we highly recommend that. I will say too that if you have AP credits or transfer credits coming in, typically they fall into this Pathways area. So that's definitely something to consider as well. For the business electives, you can see all the options here. You can see that most of the courses are actually from the Pamplin College of Business. We also have a fieldwork practicum experience where if you're doing an internship already, you can connect that with your internship experience. You can interview people in the company. You can write papers. So it's really a way to enhance your internship experience. Down here in the engineering electives, there are civil engineering courses that you can choose from. There are some that we've created specifically through CEM, Intro to Lean Construction, which is a really hot topic right now, how you can maximize your budget, your resources, and make sure that you're really maximizing all of that. Global design and construction typically involves a study abroad experience, a short trip, 1 to 2 weeks, where you actually go and build the project that you have worked on. Past projects have included trips to Rwanda, where they created a latrine system, a water filtration system. There have also been trips to Vietnam, where they built a 2-room schoolhouse, Belize, where they built a community pavilion. So that's really kind of a great way to make a difference for others and also get to travel abroad a little bit and get some hands-on experience with building. We also have smart construction. We have 3 professors within construction engineering and management who have a focus on smart construction. You can actually watch a video from Dr. Gao, who will show you some of the amazing research that he's doing right now related to construction. So I definitely recommend checking that out. There is a chance to actually work with our professors to get credit for undergraduate research, and that can count here as well. And then there's some other courses. There's a theory of organization course, design of wood structures, so a lot of great options there. So that is the curriculum for construction engineering and management.